So we get started today with another scheduled ride. Picking up Hannah. Looks like she's going to Love Field Airport. I'll be there in a few minutes. Getting started this morning. Man, I got less sleep last night, but I feel better today. Go figure. I'm also not in as big of a rush. So this is kind of crazy. I woke up this morning to about 10 to 12 missed calls. And yesterday, I had my Google Ads go live. So, if some of you don't know this, I began my own private LLC business because I got to get private rides. I'm using this slow time, this slow season with Uber and Lyft to kind of learn how to be a better business person and be an independent contractor, a true one. So I created my own business, got my LLC, created business checking account, etc. And I was doing business cards. And surprisingly, in the last few weeks to a month, I've actually had, a good amount of business. So not too shabby at all. And about $600 worth, which I think is pretty good starting out from scratch with just business cards. But I have a Yelp account, and I decided I wanted to use Google to help me, Google Ads to help me get started. So I did that. And yesterday I had a phone call with like the Google Ads expert person with Google, not some of these telemarketers. Oh man, I got some funny stories. But talked to them yesterday, got it all set up. Super awesome, by the way. I'll have to do a video or a video review of what that's like. But got to talking to them and got it all set up, and it went live yesterday. And starting last night, I got a couple of phone calls. Didn't really lead to much. But over last night, since I went to bed, I got 8 or 9 phone calls. So pretty crazy. And yeah, like it's just nuts how quick some of that certain. Now, obviously, I've gotten more phone calls, which means more clicks. It's going to be a little bit more expensive for me. And the machine is still figuring out how to really find me the best leads. Obviously, none of these have turned into reservations. So, but we'll get there, and I'll let you know more about what I get. But it's just I woke up to all that, kind of sorting it out, getting used to this new routine as an independent contractor and business person. Just trying to figure out like what works, what doesn't. Obviously, that's trial and error, and obviously that's money. So in the meantime, my bread and butter, which is these short rides, Uber and Lyft here in downtown Dallas, Dallas core area. You know, they still they still really are the backbone of what I do. So let's see what Hannah said. Walking down now. That's great. Thank you, Hannah. All right, so I'm going to be picking up Hannah here in a second. All right, so we just dropped off Hannah. All right, so we just dropped off Hannah, and I am leaving this terminal. Not near as bad today as it was yesterday. Man, yesterday they were doing they're still doing a little bit of construction, but they only have 2 lanes blocked instead of 3. So that seemed to be the difference maker. And as you can tell on my screen, that little $15, that's, if you ever wondered what that is, that's going to be your next reservation. Kind of like that Lyft does that. I got to tell you, man, Uber typically brings the money, but I really like Lyft's app. Uh, say down in the comments what you think. What's your favorite between the two? Um, like what do you like? Let's check Uber, see what kind of opportunities they got. Sometimes I'll get a reservation or two. 8:30. Heck no. No, no, no. All right, get out of the airport. 8:30. Communications drive. That's going to be tons of traffic. That 8:31. 8:30. That's not good. That's not good. 8:30. Talon. That's a Keller and South Lake. That's way up there. Yeah, none of these are real good for me. But I appreciate you, Uber, for thinking about me. All right, I'm going to get out of the airport because every time I turn on Uber while I'm in the terminal, they always send me stuff. What I meant to say is when I turn on Uber and I'm still in this like little street right by the airport, they always think, oh, go to the waiting lot. I ain't heading to the waiting lot, especially this time of the morning. There's zero flights going on. See, look at that. It's going to be quite a while. So that's the one downside of coming to the airport this early in the morning is that you are definitely not going to get a flight or a ride out of here unless there was some sort of big delay going on or something. Should be getting a ride request here soon. Just gonna head on down. Let's see. Wow, all over the place. They got search. All over Irving. Las Colinas looks like it's hopping. What time is that? Yeah, it's at 5:55. Yeah, I got some time. I can do some short rides. Yeah, see, look at that. 5:55 pickup time. So, see if they give me some shorties. All right, I think now is a good time to turn on Uber. Let's turn it on. Like Donkey Kong. Never missed ride requests. That's okay. I don't want you taking over my phone. I tell you what to do. Man, look at Uber surging big time. Dallas. All right, so we're heading that way, kind of towards the Dallas core. All right, 1 minute away. I'll do that. That is 2 miles for $6. Where'd it go? Uh, what just happened? You saw that. You saw that on my screen. What the heck just happened? I had a $2 6 mile ride. What the heck? It just disappeared. It's gone. Poof. Oh, that's not cool. What the heck happened? That was $2 for it was $6 for 2 miles. I clicked accept. I clicked accept, didn't I? It's gone. What the heck? I mean, it was almost as if they said, "Oh wait, that's too good. We can't give him that." I mean, it's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. All right, Uber, what you got? Uber Pet. If you're ordering Uber Pet and you have that low of a rating, then I don't want anything to do with. Look at that. Want me to go 9 miles? That's going to be a no. And that's with surge added on top. They're crazy. Crazy. All right. Yep, that's with a 425 surge. Man, I got to turn up my volume. You know what? I probably should pull over. I'll take that. All right, need to turn around. Okay. I got a new phone, a new work phone that I use. And I got a great deal with Google. And so far, I really like the phone. But one of the problems with the phone is that it doesn't have like a home screen. It doesn't have a button or a home screen or some sort of action like the iPhone does, where it's much easier to get shuffle in between apps. I feel like the screen is also, I think, not as good and sensitive as iPhone is. So I do struggle sometimes with that. All right, so picking up Gil here, it's around the corner. All right, Gil's heading to the airport again. Another airport run. I'll check back in with you once we drop him off. See you soon. All right, just dropped off Gil at the airport. He is a Southwest flight attendant. Super nice guy. Had two good passengers so far. Good passengers. Now, I would be shocked if Gil tips. And that's just, I'm not even that mad about it, to be honest with you, because I've accepted it that some of the worst tippers are airline employees. And I think because they kind of have the mentality that this is it's like I don't know, it's almost like public transportation to them. It's almost an extension of their work. And so they just don't and I think they do it so much that tipping is, you know, 25% of their business, so to speak. So heading back out of the airport. Seems like Lyft is kind of taking care of me today. So far, so good. Some pretty good surges going on. Look at that Addison up here. It's hopping. Just to north of that. Frisco. All these places around 360 are popping. These are going to be airports. Las Colinas is pretty busy. Downtown's pretty busy. 1, 2, 3. There we go. See, now I'm not in that stupid waiting zone. Nothing. But sometimes some of my best offers, as you saw on my last ride or before I accepted my last ride, sometimes some of the best offers on Uber are when there's no surge because Uber is notorious for playing games with surge. I feel like Lyft doesn't do that quite as much. Those rides on Lyft that you saw that that are those rides on Lyft that you saw that are $1 per mile with the surge, that is probably pretty accurate because knowing what it would be without the surge, it would be about 70 cents a mile. With the surge, it was about $1 per mile. So that sounds about right. I feel like with Lyft, they're a little bit more honest about, hey, here's what we normally pay. Hey, look at there. Got a tip. Looks like we got a tip from Mr. Gill. Awesome, Mr. Gill. So I take back everything I said. Uh-oh, $30. What's this? No. That was 30 miles for $30, heading to the airport. Don't want to do that right now. I'd rather do these short rides. All right, everybody, let's laugh. $10, 24 miles on an Uber X share. Who wants to take it? You? No? Yeah, I didn't think so. Uh, better, but not. I can do better than that. All right, so I got a ride here out of this Kroger parking lot. You got Marguerite going to Love Field. What you know? Marguerite. So picking her up, the payout is fantastic. It's like $14 to go 2 miles. I mean, that's awesome. Says it's a scheduled ride. Yeah, scheduled for 5:15. Love that. There is no telling how much she is paying for this ride. Um, I wish I got a screen grab. I really need to get better at screenshots. I am in a bad habit of just hitting the go button. Got to be quicker on the draw. It's another complaint I have about this Google phone is that I feel like screenshots are not as easy to do. So, all right, so we're going to pick up Marguerite and then I will check back in with you. I'm going to be recording this on separately because there was something that happened right before this ride. So I dropped off Marguerite at the airport and I exited Love Field like I've been doing the past few days. And I got a ride request on Uber. It was paying pretty well. And also, like I said in the last video, I hadn't had anything with Uber yet. So I wanted to sort of get the ball rolling with Uber and let them know that, hey, I'm interested in doing these rides. So I go to pick up the passenger, and first of all, she makes me wait almost the entire wait time. I get out of the car I see her coming, and I help her to get her luggage in like I always do. It was one woman, but she had three suitcases, the largest possible suitcase you could have, um, and three of them. And I tried every combination of trying to fit those pieces of luggage in the car that I could. There was no way I could jigsaw it in there. And so I told her, this isn't going to fit.
I told her this isn't going to fit. I think you need to have an XL come get you. And she said, well, um, could we just put it in your front seat or in the seats? I I do not allow luggage to be in my seats. If you want to hold on to it and put it in your lap or something, that's fine. But big, heavy, checked luggage, which is dirty, nasty, um, it had been drizzling a little bit that morning, so the wheels were probably wet. I don't allow that in my car. If your luggage is too big for a full size sedan, then you need to go ahead and order an XL. So I told her no. And she said, but my flight's in 25 minutes, which, is just another situation where it's like, well, then what on earth are you doing? I mean, if you're in that big of a time crunch, you need to be ordering an XL anyway, just to be safe so that you get to the airport on time. I canceled because obviously by that point, after 5 minutes of going back and forth and trying to fit it into the trunk, it was way past the cancellation uh, time period. So I just canceled it and got my cancellation fee. Then this ride came up. So it was just down the street, again, going to Love Field. And these two people here were at this kind of fancy apartment complex with a valet and everything. So I pull into the awning right here, and I'm waiting for them. And it's actually a Lyft scheduled ride that I arrived about 10 minutes before their scheduled pickup. Not my scheduled ride. It was someone else's scheduled ride that obviously they weren't going to get to on time. So the Lyft algorithm sent it to me. I ended up waiting for this ride the entire wait period. As you'll see here in a second, I like to message my passengers ahead of time. So I've sent them the message. And then if it's a scheduled pickup and I arrive early, I always like to send a secondary message to them saying, hey, if you want to leave early, that's fine by me. You know, do some version of that because some passengers may not know or may not be paying attention to where they may be, going over and do we have our passports? Do we have do we have our keys and everything? And they're not thinking to look at their phone and at the Lyft app or Uber app constantly. So if you message them and let them know that you are okay with leaving early, that's great because, and this gets to one of my issues, even though it will say, and it probably will say it here at the bottom here in a minute, but it will say you are paid for wait time. Well, on scheduled rides, that is just simply not true. It's not true on Lyft and it's not true on Uber. Now you are slightly paid for wait time on what I call an organic trip, a trip that the customer opens the app, sets the destination, sets the pickup location, hits confirm, it goes out to a driver, the driver shows up 5, 10 minutes later, whatever. But this is a reservation or a scheduled trip. So even if it says that you're going to get paid for wait time, you're not on a reservation trip because the app's justification for you not getting a wait time fee is that, hey, we're paying this exorbitant amount. Lyft's like, ooh, we're paying you $1 per mile, so we can basically do whatever we want to you. They view it as we're already pricing that wait time in, that dead time where you're just sitting there like I am with the valet, looking at me like I am the devil because I'm parked in this valet, the awning area waiting for them. So for you having to deal with that and that dead time, they view it as like, oh, we've already given you that money. We've already compensated you for that. So just be aware of that. And so I like to send my riders that heads up because it can also kind of spur them on to sort of get their butts outside and let's start packing up and let's go. Because here's my thing. If I have a 6 o'clock appointment to pick me up to go to the airport, you should be ready way before 6 o'clock. And most people are. Most people are. And so uh, if you message them and say, hey, I'm here early, most of the times they are going to be outside early and they're going to appreciate that. It's going to start the reservation off on a good foot. It makes you look responsible, even though you're just following what Lyft tells you to do, which is, hey, go to the pickup spot. But it makes you look responsible. It makes you look proactive. It makes you seem like you're interested in doing this. It also puts a little bit of fear, healthy fear, into the customer, thinking, he wants to leave early. If I just don't do anything or don't respond for 10 minutes, he might cancel on me, and then I really don't have a driver by 6 o'clock. So it puts a little incentive for them to get moving and to get outside and let's get this trip started, which the sooner you start the trip, the sooner the trip finishes, and better money for your time. So that's what I was doing here. And these people ended up using the entire wait time. In those situations, it's your call what you want to do. Is it worth it to cancel if it's apparent that they're not going to be moving quicker? Because, to be honest with you, I probably could have canceled them 3 to 4 minutes ago, and I could have gotten something else. I could have gotten a similar trip. I decided not to because one, the previous trip had put a bad taste in my mouth. I wanted to take some time to clean the car, wipe it down. As a matter of fact, that's probably what I'm doing here in just a moment. To wipe the car down, to vacuum it, to make sure that everything is clean and ready to go. I like to be outside of the car on a reservation. I want to see the customers coming because people that are doing reservations tend to want to have a little bit more elevated experience. They're paying more for a ride than normal. And so I like to be outside the car, help them with their luggage, welcome them to their ride, open the car door for them, et cetera, and have the car be clean and smelling fresh. So if I have this downtime, I'm using that downtime to kind of do it. But in certain situations, it might be more beneficial for you to cancel. Now, one caveat on that. If you're doing that on Uber, you better be careful because Uber is going to put you on a list, the naughty list, and you might not get reservations ever again. So Uber is a lot more strict about their reservation cancellation policy. But then again, Uber pays a lot better typically than Lyft does. So the pros and cons of that. So we end up taking this trip. They're about to get in the car. And now I'll be switching back over to my regular video after I drop them off.
Alrighty. Dropped off those lovely people. Man, they were gorgeous. I mean, the guy looked like a supermodel, and she was drop dead gorgeous too. Man, they looked like they were from a cover shoot. Those were some beautiful people. Heading to Colorado and then on their way to Hawaii. So living the life. Those people are really nice people. Super cool. Drop them off. Now I'm heading to, let's see, $15. So I did get a bonus. Huh. Heading out of the airport. Still not a good time to hit the waiting lot. kind of glad that Uber ride didn't work out because I ended up getting, I mean, I sat there and waited for about 10 minutes, but, it gave me a little bit of a breather. Open up Uber, see what's going on there. Now, why is Uber on daylight and Lyft is dark? I don't understand that. All right, so nothing so far. I'm going to turn them on yet. Those passengers told me that he wanted to reserve a ride, so he went on Uber yesterday, like in the afternoon, and typed in like Love Field, and it said $11. As you saw, he only lives like a mile and a half from the airport. So he typed it in. It was $11, and so he goes, "Okay, cool." So he reserves the ride for the next morning at like 6, and you know what they quoted him? $47 for that ride to reserve it at 6 o'clock. I mean, that's nuts. So he downloaded Lyft, and Lyft offered to do a reservation at the same time for $20. So that's insane. But you know, payouts tend to be a little bit better on Uber, and Uber is going to make damn sure that you show up on time. That's one of the good things about Uber. That's one of the bad things about Uber. They are really going to make sure that you show up on time. So let's see what's crack-a-lacking with Uber. Nothing. Let's see what that airport queue looks like. See, they're saying short wait. I guarantee you it's not short. Guarantee you're going to be there a while. But flights are starting to come in, starting to land. We shall see. Nope. 20 miles. That's going to be a definite no. Look how laggy this Uber app is on my phone. It's nuts. So much lag. No, I don't like that. Too much time going all the way around Love Field for $6. It's like 15 minutes for $6. 24 bucks an hour. I can do better than that. I can do better than that. Look at that. So much lag. It's crazy. All right, so I got a ride. Man, it was major glitching out. But I'm picking up Victoria. She is going to the hospital down the road. It's a couple miles for 5.15. So again, dollars per mile, not bad. Question is, where is she? She's got a 4.9, so she might have a history of not showing up at the right spot. Because I see her little icon here. It ain't moved. It has not moved. But yeah, too bad. Another thing, what I was saying earlier about that ride to the airport with the people that tried to do it with Uber, but they were costing so much. That was a great way to kind of tell them what I do, which is I do private rides, and I had my business cards ready to go. Handed a few of them to them. Speaking of which, I'm kind of low on business cards. Need to replenish that. And yeah, it was nice. Very nice. All right, getting my cash tips sorted out here. Coming. I'm coming. Just now heading out here. Been here 3 minutes. All right. What does that mean? What the heck does that mean? Does anyone know what that means? Is she cussing me out? Like, what is that a typo? Is that a curse word? I have no clue. Like what does exclamation point plus exclamation point mean? Is that like a Gen Z curse word? What is that supposed to mean? What on earth? What am I getting into? She has 30 seconds. All right, just dropped off those beautiful people at the airport again. What is this, like the sixth time I've been to the airport? Done, I think 7 rides, and at least 6 of them have been to the airport. Gonna head to out of the airport. Let's see. Yep, there's 26 drivers. Yeah, that's gonna be a no for me. No, I'm gonna go left instead of going Cedar Springs. Go this way. See how that is. Let's see. Made 42. 42 and about let's see, 10, 20, 45, 45 plus 45, let's say. So that's $90. So $90 in about 3 hours. $30 an hour. Not great, but not bad. Dollars per mile definitely are better. Oh, show. All right, let's turn on useless Uber. See what they're willing to do. All right. I'm actually going to do the same strategy. I'm going to head up this way towards university. Let's see what we get. All right, so a little bit of a deviation. So I finished up that airport ride and then decided to go home. It was getting a little bit crowded and not very much surge. So I went home for the morning and for a couple hours took my wife to work, got a bite to eat, and I got a couple of phone calls. Private client that found me online I don't know whether it was Google or Yelp, but they found me. They're Spanish speakers, and they are heading to a place down the road, and they're going to come back. So I'm going to charge them hourly, and then we'll be good. So going to go pick them up here in about 10 minutes. Matter of fact, this is what I'm messaging them. This is really cool. I get to message people in different languages if I choose. Text. So they're more comfortable speaking Spanish. So that is what I'll give them. This is the first time I've actually done a hourly rate private trip. So yeah, like I keep saying this in my videos, but I eventually will make a dedicated video on private rides, you know, how I do them, what services I use, what are strategies that I employ. I mean, I'm still kind of new to it myself. I created my LLC about 2 months ago. I got business cards about a month ago, and I've been on this app that I've been using called Moves. I've been using it for about 3 weeks now, and in earnest about 2 weeks. So I've done about 10 to 15 trips. I'm still kind of learning the ins and outs of how it all works. Um, by no means an expert, but yeah. As I learn more information, I'll be sharing it with you because I really recommend anyone out there that's needing to do rides full time. I mean, if you're doing this full time, you really should have some sort of outlet for people that don't want to use Uber and Lyft, or you convert clients to using you privately. The potential for money is there to use that instead. If I don't get shot or ambushed or carjacked, this should pay probably. I mean, I to be honest with you, I couldn't really get a straight answer on how long this was going to be. So, um, so yeah, like could be an hour and a half, could be 2 hours, could be longer. Don't know. Um, but we shall see. Estoy esperando enfrente. I mean, I guess that means I'm in the front. I'm waiting in front. Yep. You know, the other worry that I have is credit card fraud. I mean, I ran a check and it said it was good, but you know, if she ends up spending $50, $75, you know, and how does that work? This is part of the problems with being a small business owner, is that it's kind of all on my shoulders to make sure that payment methods and all this other crap are taken care of. I keep saying that I'm going to make a video on private rides, and I really need to do that because, you know, I'm the average Uber driver. I drive a Chevy Malibu. I am just an average guy, and I'm making decent money doing this for private rides. Obviously, I need to, you know, I was crunching the numbers because I'm paying for advertising and some other stuff and other, you know, just when you start a business, you know, there's startup costs to that. And so I was running the numbers, and really to have the same profit margin, I need to average about 2 to 3 minimum, 2 to 3 private rides a day, which I think once the ball gets rolling and the word gets out, I think that's definitely doable. I think that's definitely doable. Um, it's just a question of getting there. So you'll be on this journey with me because I've been doing Uber and Lyft for a long time, but I haven't done private rides. So, and I'm starting the channel, starting this content creation right at about the time that I'm starting this private ride journey. So hopefully, as you start watching my videos more and more, I'm actually going to be doing Lyft and Uber less and less if it all goes according to plan. And that way, I'm able to kind of show you the ropes. Because I really want to be a good resource for people so that they can do this themselves. All right, got to cross the train track here. All right. Looks like I'm here. Let's say I've arrived. Now it's just a matter of looking for the person.